Hi there, how you doing? I just wanted to share with you today 3 of the best things that my dad either advised me or taught me to do. And number 1 is this: learn to reverse a car without using the rear view mirror. There is a reason for that, which is really valid. It means you can drive just about any vehicle on the road. You can drive a van, because if a van has a bulkhead in the back, you don't have access to a rear view mirror. So it's a really good bit of advice to drive just using the wing mirrors. It's something that I do pretty much every day because I reverse into where I live. When I used to live in Oswaldwick, I used to reverse over a bridge from the main road into my parking spot. And from where I live now in Heworth in York, I reverse through an archway into my parking spot. I'll show you. Into reverse. I'm just using my wing mirrors now just to line it with the walls and then line it with the actual archway sides. Then just keep it straight. And then what does I do as I reach the edge, as the back of the car reaches the edge of the fence, start turning into the spot. Turn to line up. And behind me, on my right hand side, there is my wheelie bin, and I just tuck the car in right next to the bin. And the only thing I'm now doing is I'm using the camera, the rear camera, just to line the car up with the fence, so I can get about an inch or so off the fence. That's it, job done, I'm in. So let's just have a quick look and see how good that parking was. Not bad, huh? Right alongside the bin, you can see the other camera that was recording at the same time. And if you look at that, look how close I am to that fence. Straight in. Thanks, Dad. Right, the second one is something my dad taught me when I was really young. I would have been about 14, 15, and I was involved in various sort of like variety groups and so on. And in Filey, every year there was an annual procession, a festival, and there was a float for our variety group with the theme of a circus, and I was the ringmaster ahead of the float. And what I needed to do, what the organiser wanted me to do, was to be able to crack a whip. My dad made me a whip and taught me how to crack it, and I loved that. I must have really annoyed the neighbours so much when I was a kid. Anyway, when I had the idea for doing this video, I haven't actually cracked a whip for years, but I went out and bought a few Bullwhips. Now, bearing in mind, when I actually learned how to do this, this was prior to Indiana Jones coming out. So when Indiana Jones did come out, I thought that was really cool. But yeah, Indiana Jones uses a bullwhip, and I'd never really used one of those before. So I bought 3. I've got an 8-foot one, a 6-foot one, and a 4-foot one. Let's have a look, eh? So this is the 4-foot one. Not bad, eh? 6 foot. Actually, I really like the kind of snaky plait on this. Nice. And now the big one, the 8-foot. Now this is more like the Indiana Jones kind of style that you remember from the films. and it makes a beast of a crack. While I was looking at whips, I even ended up buying this really nasty kind of build. It's horrible, it's all kinked and creased. It's a stock whip that I got from Amazon. I'll put a link down below. The other ones came from eBay. Pretty good quality. A lot dearer than this though, but let's give this little nasty stock whip a crack. It's not the best, but it's alright. Anyway, I've enjoyed that so much, getting back into that I've been looking at a lot of YouTube videos. There's a lot of stuff to do with target practice and that kind of thing out there to do with whips, and I've been having a little bash at that. I recently took these whips to a community camp where there were about 25 other blokes and they went down a storm. I'll put a few little clips up, probably at the end of this video. Great fun. I just love the fact that you're making something go faster than the speed of sound with just a flick of your wrist. Thanks, Dad. Alright, now on to number 3. Here we go. This one's a bit of an interesting one, I think. One of the things that my dad taught me was how to drink spirits neat. Sounds like a really bizarre thing, doesn't it? You know. However, when I've talked to other people about this, nobody's really aware of this kind of technique. And the reason why this came about was because my dad offered me a drink of a spirit one time, and I said I really don't like it because it burns, and I think we've all probably had that feeling at some point. So, got some rum here, got a glass here. God, the bloody flask is stuck. Preparation. Which brings me to another one that he used to teach me a lot too. More about that later. Okay, drop of rum. Smells good. Now this is 40%. So here's what he taught me. First of all, take a breath in before you take a sip. Then take a sip, swirl it around your mouth, and then let it go down your throat, and then breathe out. Are you ready? And for some reason that works. You still get the warming feeling, but you don't get the burn. And I think it's to do with airflow over the alcohol evaporating and creating a bit of a nasty sensation in your mouth. But it does make drinking spirits neat so much neater. Nearly fell off my bench there. But yeah, that's how you do it. So breathe in. Swallow. And then breathe out. As I say, I think it's to do with airflow. Because if you take a sip and then breathe in, before you've, just after you've swallowed it, it creates a bit of an evaporation effect. Don't know the science, just know that it works. And it does mean you get to taste the spirit rather than have that horrible burny feeling in the back of your throat. Thanks, Dad.